Hey guys, so I wanted to put the Honor 5X to the test here against Challenger from OnePlus. This is the OnePlus X, a new one, which is the black onyx version, which I didn't like the white one. You know, it had the weird kind of borders, but I think this one looks a lot sleeker and nicer on the eyes here, very sophisticated, particularly with that AMOLED display. But how does the 5X compare to it? We can have a look here, just starting both up at the same time roughly here. So just going to reboot them. And I think you can get the OnePlus X for probably a little bit more than the Honor 5X, but you know, it does come, I think, with some nice specs if you ask me. You know, 3 gigs of RAM, Snapdragon 801 versus the Snapdragon 616, and obviously it comes with a very nice stock build of Android as well, which is the Oxygen OS obviously. But wow, you can see EMUI actually does beat the OnePlus X when it boots up here, so you know, it must be a quite nice optimized device. Maybe we will certainly find out. So everything is closed down here and they're both fully up to date. So we're just going to open up some apps and see how they compare. So 1.1, to the X, oh, 2.2. Hello. Wow, that took ages. So there is some peculiarities with the OnePlus X software. Now and again it does kind of hold itself up for some reason, but you can see most of the time it is very nice and smooth, much quicker to get into the camera here. About the same there. And about music, about the same. But then again, you know, I'm quite generally impressed with the speed I'm seeing here on this thing on a 5X. I forget its name because it's so similar to the Honor 4X, obviously. But you can see it's pretty much the same here for a lot of them. What about Spider-Man? So again, you see that delay here with the OnePlus X. But when it does go into it, I think the OnePlus X has the raw horsepower. You can see the 5X here is a little bit behind. Oh, shouldn't have opened my mouth. So for some reason it crashed and the 5X managed to load the game without any problems. Let's just see if that's a one-off or if it does it again. Maybe it just doesn't like Spider-Man. No. So one off, really. But I think you can see here the software stability is just not, you know, as good as some other phones here, and that's what holds it back really. You do have, you know, very good, you know, specifications for the price, but you need the software stability as well. So we could just have a look at the speed of the internet on both of them here. Both of them only support 2G, which is quite disappointing, but you know, we can see nevertheless what 2G speed you will get. And when I say 2G, I mean the 2G frequency. So very run of the mill here for the Honor 5X. And wow, so a little bit better here for the OnePlus X, which is nice. Maybe, you know, Snapdragon 801 here, still better than the 616. So the upload as well, very nice. So clearly you can see here the internet speed, very nice on the OnePlus X. Wow. So let's just see if we can load up a web page here. Which one loads up first? So we're going to go to The Verge. You can see very nice load here. And again, slightly quicker. This one taking time to load everything, whereas I could jump to another link very quick there. Tech Radar. So Tech Radar. Very nice and fast here again. Let's just click on a link. So probably, you know, the OnePlus X here dominant when it comes to the web browsing, probably due to the processing power. How does it compare when it comes to multitasking? We can have a look. So go back to what we were doing before. Some delay there if you ask me. So Blender. So again, OnePlus X here. Wish. Again, OnePlus X. Why are all phone companies coming out with X in their name? It's kind of overused if you ask me. Massive delay here with the Uber. That took like ages. I didn't even know if I touched it. So camera. Probably this is a combination of EMUI, you know. I do notice some lagginess here and there with the phone, but the OnePlus X seems to be quite good here when it comes to multitasking, I have to say. Spider-Man. Reload. So you can see there, I think the OnePlus X is pretty dominant here when it comes to the day-to-day kind of performance. But you know, it is probably to be expected here. You do pay a little bit more for the OnePlus X at the end of the day, but you know, at the end of the day, I think the Honor really provided the experience I was expecting. Not a massive step up from the Snapdragon 615 devices at the end of the day. Probably would have been better if they'd gone with a Kirin, you know, processor. But yeah, just a quick little comparison here. Hope you found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.